Welcome back. Lynx Air is officially shut down as of today. Its final flights will occur today. What does that mean for stranded customers or those who need a refund? For more on how to get a refund, we are joined now by Natasha Macmillan. She's Director of Everyday Banking at Ratehub.ca, and our conversation is going to focus on credit cards and how you may be eligible to get a refund from your credit card provider. Natasha, thanks a lot for joining us. Travelers who have looked at the Lynx Air website will see a pretty blunt message, and that message is, for a refund, don't talk to us, talk to your credit card provider. Why don't you take it from there? Where should affected travelers be looking for a refund?
So affected travelers should reach out and submit a travel insurance claim through their credit card as soon as possible. So they'll need to get some documentation in order, so their original receipt, proof of purchase, etc., before submitting that claim. But that will be their best route in kind of getting a refund from Lynx at this time.
Does every credit card offer insurance on something like this?
Unfortunately, not every credit card does. What is deemed kind of those premium credit cards or travel credit cards would. Another great avenue for Canadians might be to reach out directly to their service providers, so whoever they have their credit cards with, and they might be able to be eligible for service not provided refund. Once those statements do come out that their flight was canceled and everyone is well aware of kind of Lynx going out of business, they might be able to get a refund through that as well.
Service provider.
There has been some rumblings that might not occur, but only time will tell.
Sorry to interrupt. A service provider is the financial institution that issues the credit card, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So we might be in a scenario where some people may have used a debit card perhaps to buy their ticket, or maybe have a credit card that doesn't have any travel benefits, which is a lot of cards. These people
Absolutely.
may not get a refund then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So what we have started to see kind of monitoring social media is a lot of people in these scenarios will be ineligible for a refund, or it might be harder for them to get a refund because Lynx has filed for creditor protection.
It sounds like some customers are going to be disappointed through this experience and be stung with some fairly substantial losses on what they paid for air travel. Then they're going to have to pay somebody else, another airline in some cases, to fly them home. So they're going to take a dead loss, some of them on what they paid to Lynx, and pay an equivalent amount or more to another airline. A lot of them, in other words, are going to be taking a close look at their credit cards. What should Canadians look for when they apply for a credit card if they're concerned about travel insurance and travel and airfare refunds?
Yeah, given Canadians' environment with kind of low carrier airlines, it does become difficult in this scenario. And we always recommend, if you're booking a travel flight, to look at credit cards with travel insurance. And particularly that would include, for example, lost baggage, flight cancellation, etc. The one thing to keep in mind is you do need to pay for your flight in full using that credit card. So that is kind of one of the key caveats with that. And always kind of read what is included in your credit card agreement. So a lot of people might not know that they have travel insurance on their existing credit card. So that's an avenue for them as well. Thankfully, what we have seen in this recent example is Air Canada and WestJet are offering discounted flights for those passengers who are unable to get refunds or who are experiencing kind of difficulty with flights due to the Lynx environment. So there is an opportunity for them potentially to not have to spend more money in this situation.
Go ahead. Brooke has the final question.
So Lynx basically was a discount airline, which means the ticket prices weren't a huge amount on this. As far as, but do we know the exposure, the average exposure that somebody is in today as far as losses go?
From what I have seen, based on my research, it's typically about $500 round trip, 5 to 7. And unfortunately, what we can see is I've seen some people post that their exact flight through other airlines is $200 to $300 more. So they will unfortunately be out that amount of money, but hopefully with the new kind of discounts that WestJet and Air Canada are offering, they'll kind of be even.
Okay, very quickly, I see that you also provided a list of about 8 or 9 credit cards that you consider, Ratehub considers to be the best travel cards in Canada for 2024. Can viewers find that list on Ratehub.ca?
Yes, they can.